G'day guys, this is Captain Noob here, and following the disappointment that was the BFG from the Creation Club, I've gone ahead and made a mod which goes to improve this thing. So let's get into these attachments and I'll explain to you what I have done here. So first of all, we've got the power slider here. We can chuck this all the way up to 500% damage, which we will because it's a BFG. I expect it to be hitting hard. But if this is too overpowered for you, there's a bunch of other options here which you might like. If you're playing on survival, 500% might be a bit over the top, so you've got a couple of extra ones lying around here that you may use, but we'll use 500 for this. Next up for the focuser. So basically what this does is improve the range, and what that'll do is help retain the damage over range, and in addition to that, it'll actually help us with our VATS accuracy, which was absolutely terrible when you had a range of 11. Not only would you not be able to hit anything that is more than, let's say, a couple of meters out, but to be that close and to hit them with VATS, it'll get you killed with the residual damage, which we'll get to now. So, the plasma intensity thing. So this is the slider for how much residual damage is left behind when you strike. So, if you've seen me use this gun yesterday, I obviously killed myself quite a bit using the residual damage of this. So we're going to crank this up a little bit, but I've made one little adjustment to this which makes it so much more usable. I've made it so that the residual damage doesn't actually hurt the player. So you can fire this thing generally pretty close to you and you won't have to worry about this thing biting you on the bum, which is a huge improvement to this weapon. So the next improvement that I've made in is a weight slider. So this thing weighs 35 pounds, which is heavier than a fat man. That's no good, so I've added in a couple of weight reduction sort of perks for you to choose from. All of these are backed up by Gun Nut 1 through 4, so obviously you're not going to be able to get this right away, but that 17.5, you know, that's a decent sort of weight for a big gun like this, so we'll definitely chuck that on. And of course, legendary slot will stay, and we might get to chucking on a little bit of legendary effects of mine just a little bit later, but for now we'll leave it as is. Let's go find Gunner's Plaza and see what this bad boy can do now. Okay, here we are in Gunner's Plaza with our new improved BFG 9000, and let's go ahead and get dressed for the occasion since we're using a Doom weapon. So that one and that one. Hell yeah, now we're in classic Doom armor. Before we get into it, let's just take a closer look at this. So it's a decently high quality armor. Obviously, if you're a manly man who slays demons from hell, you've got the abs showing there, but it's a female soul survivor here, so we'll just have to see her midriff instead, so whatever. While this may look kind of weird and boxy, I think it suits the goofiness of this weapon, so let's just go ahead and get stuck into these gunners. Oh, I don't have my sprinters effect. Not running as fast. So there we go. So we're doing pretty good damage. A fairly decent improvement. Hell, if this doesn't prove to be good enough, I might even go back in the creation kit and set this thing up. So as you can tell there, while we are probably close enough to receive some of that deadly sort of residual damage that this weapon gives, we aren't taking any because obviously the perk that I made it I made the damage not go for players instead. So friendly fire incidents with this weapon are going to be few and far between unless you shoot directly at a wall. Finish you off, mate. There we go. And we might as well smack you in the head with VATS. Let's see how this goes for you, mate. There we go. That's the BFG we all know and love. Big bowl of plasma death going at ya. Yeah. Alrighty. What have we got in here? Just some random dude. Yeah, that's fine. Ended up hurting ourselves a little bit, but we took very little splash damage there, so that's fine. Of course, we can fire this thing extremely fast if we want to. No need to charge this thing up. You'll still do that 1,000 points of damage, residual damage. And while this isn't maybe as highly damaging per shot as a fat man, I think the rate of fire makes up for that very, very well, so we are not losing out on any damage whatsoever. See, this is what the BFG should have been. Hire me, Bethesda. I know how to make better weapons than you. Hire me, Bethesda. Alrighty. Coming on to these last couple of gunners here, we should make short work of them. Let's get a bit of third-person action here so you can see the back of this armor as we're going through here. Not much to see except the blinding plasma flashes, so I suppose looking at the armor is probably a bit nullified by this massive screen shaking just green everywhere, but whatever, that's fine. We'll finish off this turret. One more to go. Let's see if we can get some splash damage around the corner. Not quite. It's hard to judge what you're shooting at. Still, when you're charging up this weapon, it sort of obscures your aim. But there we go. That is Gunner's Plaza cleared with the much, much improved little BFG 9000 there. So let's go take on Swan with our new beast and see how we do there. Alrighty, so Swan here had a big old laugh yesterday when we tried attacking him with the regular Creation Club BFG. So let's see what he thinks of the new and improved version. Yeah, boy, over here, mate. There we go. Getting stuck into him there. Now, the good thing about the BFG here is that it hits hard. It actually hits hard enough to keep Swan staggered. And though we aren't doing massive damage to him, we can keep him nice and pinned down there. And we don't have to even move our cursor. We just click whenever our reticule resets. And we'll be able to perma-stagger him to death. But let's not do that. Let's instead show off this thing in VATS. So obviously he's about 100 meters away, and or maybe even less, but we're still getting decent accuracy in VATS, which would be unheard of with the standard variety. So we'll just let this VATS run take him out there. You can see the residual damage doing very good on him. Obviously it would be doing equivalent to the 1000 damage that it is supposed to do if he was actually sort of you know, at our level, because he's got a little bit of extra damage resistance to us just because we're much lower than his level. If we're the same level as him, I'm sure we'd be killing him a lot easier, so whatever. Alrighty, now he's coming all the way back here. We'll just hold him back by staggering him as much as we possibly can while our AP regenerates, so he should have no problem. We should have no problem just keeping him staggered there. And all our action points are back. Now it's time to shoot him in the face again. Let's go ahead and give him a crit just to add insult to injury. Get a nice sort of cinematic effect as the giant plasma ball of death rolls in, messing up his facial features, which I'm pretty sure are that messed up anyway. He won't find a difference. And last shot goes in. He's already dead, but I think that's just to make sure of it. Never hurts to double tap, kids. Alrighty, so that is it against Swan. Let's go ahead and chuck on a legendary effect of mine and see what this thing can do when it's firing, let's say, 3 shots at once. I'm keen. Alrighty, so here we are in the glowing sea, and while we're here, I just want to speak about some of the effects of the armor that I'm wearing. So, the Doom Marine armor here has 90, 150 energy, ballistic and energy resistance respectively, but more importantly it has 1000 rad resistance to it, so that's really good. This is equivalent to the sort of various hazmat suits that you find throughout the Commonwealth, which is really good. Which is kind of strange obviously because this thing is not entirely sealed, nor is it airtight, so there's plenty of rads getting into your arms, into your belly and into your leg there, so not sure how that works. As for the helmet, it's just got a basic 15 energy and ballistic resistance, but it's there to complete the look and it does its job just fine. Enough about the armor, let's get into this quad shot BFG over here. So there's a Deathclaw sort of staring us down from a range, although he doesn't know we're here. What we'll do is we'll just hop off to these rocks over here and get a nice sort of shot on him from here. He's going to go ahead and do a monster roar over there, and now we'll get a shot at him. So we'll go for his belly, why not? And the first couple of shots, just so we can guarantee the hit, will be crits. Man, that is seizure inducing. There we go, got another sneak attack critical with the thing there. Another one, another sneak attack critical. Wow, good job. There, another crit on him. Half of his health is down. I think he's about to head to mutation station. There we go. Another one. Wow, this thing works extremely well when you crit spamming from a long distance. So there's a hidden strength of this weapon that I did not foresee coming, so that's very good. And just like the fight against Swan, we'll be able to stagger this dude, but we'll just finish him off and come on. Don't miss him. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was about to say we'll be able to stagger him like normal, but I didn't really get the chance to show that off because I was too blinded by this thing's light to actually shoot him. But there you have it. That was the improved BFG 9000. A mod created by me, and it's going to be on all platforms as of this upload. So if you're interested in checking it out and have bought this thing and wish you hadn't, maybe you could check out the mod and see what you think of it. And maybe you can even remove that feeling of buyer's remorse, hey? Thank you for watching, guys.